What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. Welcome to the show. A few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it, lay the smack down, like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up. And a message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at any point during the show, what could you do? You can call in at 888-775-3773. 888-775-3773, and we could talk about whatever you want. If you want to get into it, we can get into it. But if for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV or go directly to the YouTube live chat, hit the super chat button, send your question or comments there. I'll read them live on air. We also got the Cash App thing and all that good stuff. So check that all out. I appreciate it. Amazing stuff. Don't forget we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Punchy.tv, so you can watch JFTV on any of those platforms at any point. All right. What's today? You guys know what today is. Today is Tuesday. True Crime Tuesday. We got some stuff to get into. When I tell you we got a little story today, y'all, when I tell you we got a story, that's all I could tell you. Stuff. Man, when I first came across this story, I was thinking like, what's even going on? What's wrong with people? How do we get here? How does this happen? Poor little children. It was very interesting. And then when I dug into it, I was like, this crazy. This some crazy stuff. So I got some clips and I got some information and I got some story and I got some details and I got some evidence for you. Okay? This is the testimony of AJ Hutto, okay? Lil AJ Hutto. This is from Wikipedia. Adriana Elaine Hutto, which was AJ's older sister, she was 7 years old. AJ was 6. And this is his half-sister. Adriana Hutto was a 7-year-old American girl who lived in Esto, Florida. On August 8th, 2007, Adriana's mother, Amanda Lewis, made a 911 call stating that she had found her daughter in the family's pool and she was not breathing. Emergency personnel rushed Adriana to the nearby hospital, where she was pronounced dead about an hour after arrival. So this young girl named Adriana Hutto drowned in the pool, right? According to Wikipedia. This is how the story started. She drowned in the pool, and Amanda Lewis, which was the mother, called the police to tell them my daughter has drowned. They got there. They tried to bring her to the hospital. They got a little pulse back at the hospital, but not strong enough to keep her alive. And then she later died. Okay? This is from Trial by Error. This is the first interview of Amanda Lewis describing to the officer step by step the day of the incident and what happened. This is the mother here. This is just the audio. There's no actually video of the statement. This is the audio here. So here we go.
Can you tell me about what all happened today? Can you take us through that?
Yes. Well, I got home from work. I work 11 to 7. They were watching cartoons. I told them if they'd let me take a little nap that we'd get up and get ready and go do their school shopping. They were good. I took my nap. I got up probably around 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock, somewhere around in there. They wanted to go outside, so I let them go out. They were out there playing. They, come in and out. around close to the incident, they had went outside. They were playing in the front yard in the driveway with some of AJ's trucks. I went and took my shower, put some towels in the washing machine and some in the dryer, and then I walked to the front door, and I couldn't see Andrew, and he was in the trees beside the house, climbing in them. And I asked him where Adriana was at, and he said she was playing at the pool. I said, well, go tell her to come in so we can get ready to go, and we'll go get your school stuff. He went to go around the house, and I went to the sliding glass door at the back and looked out, and I didn't see her. And when I looked at him, he was on the wagon, reaching over in the pool, raking at something. And I asked him what was he doing, and he said that Adriana was upside down in the pool, and she wasn't moving.
Oh.
And that's when I run out there, and I made him go get Alan Michael. And then when he came out, I told him, I said, take AJ in the house and keep him in there. And I was trying to get her out because she was close to the middle of the pool. And then I leaned over and reached over, and I managed to get her foot, and I pulled her out and got her on the ground. And I tried to do CPR as I was calling 911.
Oh, so she goes to her daughter. The kids are playing outside. The daughter goes to she's outside while the mother's taking a shower. According to the mother, she's out there and she wants to swim. They're about to leave to go get some school supplies, according to the mother. The little girl is raking some bugs at the pool. She falls into the pool. Mother doesn't know. The boy comes in and says, "Mama, mama, mama, Adriana is upside down in the pool." And the mom says that she didn't see it as she was dead in the pool. She saw it as, oh, she's playing by the pool, something like that. She goes back, sees her daughter. She goes, sees the son trying to get her out the pool. And that's when she panics. And then she goes to the pool, grabs the daughter out, tries to resuscitate her. And that's when she calls the police, right? She calls the police. And this is what happens when she calls the police.
911.
I need an ambulance.
What's wrong, ma'am?
My daughter fell in the pool and she's not breathing.
And she's not breathing? How old is she?
She's 7 years old.
All right, hang on just a second, ma'am.
Her lips are purple. What do I do?
Ma'am?
Water's just coming out of her nose.
Yes, ma'am?
Huh?
You said water's coming out of her nose?
Yes, I've got her on her side. It's just coming out of her nose every time I move her.
Okay, hang on just a second.
Please hurry.
Rescue? Yes, ma'am, I've got them on the way. I'm going to see if they can do something to help you. Hang on just a moment.
Boom. So she's called 911 and she's panicked and stuff. She don't know what to do. It makes sense, right? She's called. My daughter, I don't know what to do. Come help me. I need some help. My daughter. Just a natural reaction to your daughter in the pool drowning and you don't know what to do, right? You don't know how to react. You call the police. You're panicking a little bit. She's a woman. She's a lady. Her emotions are getting over the best of her. She's called. She's panicking and she's trying to figure out what to do. She can't breathe. What do? She's purple, right? So she calls the police. According to Vocal Media, paramedics arrived to find Amanda with Adriana lying on the ground near the pool. Resuscitation efforts were put into motion as she was placed in an ambulance, but sadly, their efforts proved fruitless as she was pronounced dead after an hour at the hospital. An autopsy was performed and the death was deemed accident due to drowning. The case was then closed, right? So they tried to resuscitate her at the house. Didn't work. They brought her to the hospital. They couldn't do it there either. She ended up dying. They ruled it as an accident. The case was closed. Boom, done, right? It just a freak accident. It's unfortunate. It's sad. Little girl was in the pool. She couldn't swim. She fell in. And it happens all the time. It really does. It happens more often than most people may think. Here's the plot twist. This where it gets a little tricky. Because we're like, oh, okay, man, that's so unfortunate. We wish the family well, and the mama's probably going through it. Like, she just took her eyes off the babies for 1 second, and next thing you know, the daughter's drowning. That's what you think. You feel bad and all that stuff. Here's the plot twist. Little AJ, they interview little AJ. Right? the little brother, 6 years old. 1 hour later, Adriana's half-brother AJ, who was just 6 at the time of the event, told police that he had actually witnessed his mother dunking his sister in the pool. This prompts an immediate reopening of the case. The boy, the 6-year-old boy, goes in there and tells the officers, as the officers interviewing the little boy, and the little boy's telling the officers a totally different story. Officers looking at each other probably like, what the? And this is a little bit after, right? So here's a clip of AJ. 1 hour later, the police interview youngest child AJ Hutto sharing the shocking new information given to the officers. 1 hour later. Here we go.
My sister, she read me and sprayed something that makes everything smell good, and she didn't do this. She done the stuff that she didn't supposed to, so my mama got mad at her. So she threw her in the pool. And then she told her to go somewhere, and she said no, because Mom was going to dunk her again. And then Mom had to go get in the car to go get Adriana. And then Adriana was trying to escape from Mama, and then Mama pulled her back in the car. And then once they got back home, Mama threw her back in the pool. And then she started drowning again. And then when she had to take a shower, my mom told me to go get her. And then when I was standing in the wagon, she was dead.
So you stood up in the wagon? Okay.
What the? The police are probably like, wait, hold on 1 second. Wait up. What the? And then you think like, okay, this is a little kid. You know, you can't believe just a little kid at his word. We don't know. He could be making up stories. He could have saw this in a movie. No, this little boy is descriptive. He's giving you details. And what reason does this little 6-year-old kid have, what purpose would he have to make up this story with these such details? That not only the mom dunked her twice, the mom dunked her the first time and then told her to go off and go play. And then the mom gets sick again and dunks her the second time, and that's when he kills her. And that's the little boy's like, she just dunked her, and I went up there and looked at her, she was dead. What the? According to ABC News, 6 months later, this is where it gets interesting. So the case is opened up again, right? The case is reopened. And now they're like, okay, something going on. Something weird here. Case is reopened. And then they take it to the courts, and now they're in the courts, right? And 6 months later, AJ goes back on the stand to testify, right? And according to ABC News, 6 months later, AJ appeared in court for the first time, not seeing his mother since the incident, and AJ doesn't recognize his mother sitting there in court, allegedly. This is where my little opinions come in, but we're gonna get to it. Allegedly, AJ does not recognize his mother in court. This is from Jackie, the 13th juror on YouTube. AJ looks over at his mother while repeatedly denying her presence in court. Here we go.
How old are you?
7.
Did you have a birthday a few months ago?
Yes, so.
When was that?
November 22nd.
And you were 7?
Yes, so.
Ain't he the cutest little boy, though? Just real quick, I had to throw that in there. He's a cute little boy, huh? He's a little handsome little thing.
If I told you your mother was in the courtroom here today, would that be the truth?
No, so.
That would not be the truth. Why is that? Because she's not in the courtroom?
No, so.
And you're telling me that that is the truth, that your mother is not in the courtroom?
Yes, so.
He's looking right at her.
Okay. Where is your mother?
Jail.
She's in jail.
So he's in court. He hasn't seen his mother in 6 months. She's sitting there right there, and he's denying that she's in there. I don't know why. I can't tell you guys why. But what I'm believing to think, and I could be wrong about this, it's just my opinion, is what did they say to him leading up to the court? Right? What do they tell this little boy, right? He looking at his mama. I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but he's looking at his mama and he's looking at her, and then they're asking her, is your mama in court today? He's saying no. Is your mama in court today? No. Where is your mom? She's in jail. Now, some of the reports say that he just didn't recognize her. I just don't believe, it's just not believable to me. I don't know what happened, but you know how they like, before you go on trial, they kind of train you of what to say and what not to say. You know, they kind of prep you to go on trial so that way you are clear in your words, and also you are strongly stand on your beliefs of what you saw and your evidence. So they kind of like train you for the court, right? Whether you're innocent or guilty, whatever. So I'm just wondering out loud, did they train this little boy in some kind of way, right? Did they try to get in his head, right? Did they say certain things and maybe try not to say certain things or not to reveal too much? Am I making stuff up? Does this ever happen? Do they ever train people up in this way to like either tell a lie or train them to stand stronger on the truth? Or I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that happens. So I'm just wondering, did they like get to this little kid, right? He's looking at the mama, but you're saying that she's not there, right? And it doesn't make sense, of course. It's like, why would he look at her and admit that she's not there? I don't know. This from Jackie, the 13th juror. Lawyer, this is where it gets interesting, because this is where the lawyer pigeonholes little AJ, right? Backs little AJ in the corner, making him identify other people in court. Then lastly, pointing to his mother, Amanda Lewis, to be identified. And I believe that the lawyer here is just trying to like work around whatever this little boy has been trained to say, right? So he kind of like, because he's 6 years old. So I think the lawyer here was like, well, let's try to expose the truth here. And he found a little way to do it. So here we go. This is the next clip here. The lawyer pigeonholes young AJ by making him identify others in court, then lastly pointing to his mother, Amanda Lewis, to be identified. Here we go.
Is Aunt Carla in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Where is she sitting? Would you point her out for the jury?
He points out Aunt Carla.
Okay. What color top does she have on?
Brown.
Okay. Is that her sitting right there on the second row?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, AJ, have you met this man before right here? Mr. Walter.
No, sir.
Okay. How about Miss Kim right there? Have you ever seen her before?
No, sir.
All right. That woman sitting right there between them. Have you ever seen her before?
Yes, sir.
Who is that?
My mother.
He says, no, sir, at first. Have you ever seen her before? No, sir. And then he says, who is that? He says, my mother.
Now you recognize your mother?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, James.
Look, then he starts crying.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
give me your hand. All right. Here. Here.
And then he starts crying. Listen, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but can we read between the lines a little bit? What's going on here? Is that your mama right there? No, sir. Is that your mama right here? No, sir. Who is that lady right there in the middle? That's my mother. So your mother is here today? Yes, sir. And he starts breaking down crying. Right? I'm just wondering if the defense attorney, and this could not be, listen, I could be wrong about this, but if the defense attorney tells the little boy something like, and I'm just making this up, I'm not saying this is true, but what if the defense attorney just tells the little boy something like, in training before he comes to court, says something like, do you love your mother? The little boy's like, yes. And do you want to be with your mother? Yes. Do you know that if your mother goes to jail for this crime, you'll never be able to see her again? What does it make the little boy feel? A little sad. Oh, that's kind of true. And you don't want to never be able to see your mother again, right? No, I want to see my mother, right? So then you should say this so that we can keep your mother out, right? A little manipulation can happen in training this young child, right? So when this question comes up, say this. And I'm not saying that this will happen. I'm just wondering, could that have happened? Does this stuff happen? Training this kid to say a certain thing or to not reveal too much. So that way his mom goes free. Hey, Bella, go back to school. I'm looking at chat. But could that happen? Very much. That could very much happen. But I disavow if it happened or not. I don't know. But the point is, it just seems fishy to me. It just seems fishy. If they made him lie, he said he didn't recognize the mother, or he said that he didn't see the mother in court. He's looking right at her saying he doesn't see her. And then the lawyer points it out. Is that your mom? He says no. And he says, are you sure that's not your mom? Who's that lady right there in the middle? That's my mother. So it just seemed fishy. Anyway, let's move on. Later on, in the court, Adriana draws a picture of what happened on the day and explains to the court what he drew. This where I was like, all right, look, what the? Here we go.
Jay, what is this right here?
My pool.
Your pool?
Yes, sir.
The one that was in this picture that we just saw a few minutes ago?
Yes, sir.
All right. And who is this right here?
Me.
What are you doing, AJ?
I'm just playing.
All right. What is this right here? Who is this, or what is this?
My mama.
Okay. And what is she doing?
Killing my sister.
How is she doing that, AJ?
Putting her hand over her face.
Would you show me how she put her hand over your
No,
sister's
sir.
face? Huh?
No, sir.
You don't.
He says no, he doesn't want to show the guy how the mother put the hand over the daughter's face to drown her. I'm wondering why he would want to say no. Why can't he just show her? Why can't he just do it? He doesn't want to do it.
Want to do that?
No, sir.
Okay. Who is this?
My mother.
And who is this?
My sister.
What is this right here?
My mother's arm.
Your mother's arm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does this mean right here? She did.
Died.
What?
She died.
She died. Okay. You mean your sister died? Okay. What this too bad? What does that mean?
That means it's scary.
It was scary.
Listen up. He's saying that she died. He's explaining the whole thing right there. How do you make that up? How a 6-year-old can't just make that up. She died. He wrote "too bad" next to it, meaning it was so scary, and that he showed the picture of the mom drowning the girl, drowning the daughter while he's up there playing in the tree. He drew the dang situation. And so it makes you think, why is the story all weird? Why is it all messed up? Because moving on, and we're at the end here of this little story. Moving on, later on in the court, the story changes. His story starts to change, right? His story starts to change, and he starts to deny the claims. Then he says a different story. He goes back to the story that the mother went out there to save the daughter. Like, he changes the story up again. So his story wasn't as consistent in the court. So it just leads me to just wonder, was he trained to say something different? Was he trained to believe the mother's side of the story? I just believe it to be true. Because the defense lawyer, all she has to say is like, listen, because that's her job, is to defend her client. So if she's training the child to tell him that your mother's story is the true story. So say this, or just, kind of manipulate the kid and manipulate his imagination a little bit to lean more to the mother's story. But you can't do that because the truth will always come out. And I think that the young kid told the truth. He drew it. He told it to the officers an hour after the incident happened, where he didn't have any training. They had no time to get to him to train him. And I think that he was trained to tell a lie. But fortunately, she was found guilty. Police questioned the emergency room physician. So the physician who described Adriana, the girl who died, as dead, Dr. Renee Fox, who tended to Adriana that day and asked if there was anything strange that happened. Dr. Fox stated that Amanda Lewis, the mother, having just received the message that her daughter had passed away, had no emotion or reaction to finding out, almost like she was stone cold. Right? Doctors come out, your daughter didn't make it. She said she didn't really have a reaction. She was kind of whatever. She was kind of chill about it. Kind of fishy. Throughout the trial, a bunch of evidence was presented to the jury. Autopsy reports, pictures showed that there were fingerprint-shaped bruises on Adriana's forehead, cheeks, and chin, essentially matching AJ's statement. He even acted out how he saw his mother drown his sister on the face. There was prints there. And she was found guilty, and she was sent to jail without the possibility of parole. And still to this day, because Piers Morgan interviewed the mother, Amanda Lewis, in jail. He went there and interviewed her. And still to this day, she's trying to fight and overturn the case, saying that she was innocent. Interesting stuff to me. Interesting stuff. The boy is 15 or 16 now. And he was adopted after the incident, has not seen his mother since. And I just thought that was so fascinating to me. And you just never be knowing what will be going on in people's life. You never know. But what is the mother made up a story, and the daughter, Adriana, she had ADHD. They were saying she had ADHD and that she didn't want to be bothered. I mean, she had too much energy, and then the mother didn't want to be bothered by her so much. And according to ABC as well, they were saying that the mother, Amanda, had mentioned to one of her coworkers that she's just so hyper I can kill her, something like that, right? Like mentioned killing her out of her frustration, right? And that could be just like a parent just being tick about a situation, like, oh, she gets on my nerves so much, I just want to strangle her. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those type of statements. But she had mentioned that, and the coworker gave that testimony about that. But the daughter was said to be diagnosed with ADHD, and she was always hyper and stuff. And I guess she was having issues with the daughter and her little energy. You know how the kids just don't be acting right because you as the parent jack them up so they don't be acting right. And it frustrates you and it gets you all crazy. Well, that's what they're saying happened. And she didn't want the daughter no more. So she drowned her and made up this story. And of course, at the end of the day, nobody really knows the truth. But at some point, you just got to go with your gut and what you believe to be true. And it just makes, I'm rocking with AJ. But the mother's still trying to overturn this. Years later, she's still trying to overturn this. She's trying to fight in court still. It's crazy stuff. What could you do? All you can do is also wish the mother well. You just wish everybody well. Hopefully AJ doesn't have too many issues from this. Probably been through a lot, little boy. Cute little boy. And Hake said, any mention of the daddy? No mention of the daddy. No mention of the daddy. They did have, Amanda Lewis did have a stepmother. Amanda Lewis did have a boyfriend, which was AJ and Adriana's stepfather. That was kind of there. And then they had an older brother that was there too. He was 14 at the time, the older brother. But no recollection of the actual father of the two children. Interesting stuff. The mother did look a little bit out of it, and like she's been through some stuff too. And they were half brothers and sister. They were half. So she looked like she maybe been through a few different men, but what could you do? Anyway, that's my little story for today. My little true crime. What'd you guys think about that one? How you guys liking these true crime stories? Rate it from 1 to 10 in chat. From 1 to 10, how was that little true crime story there? And then I'm going to move on. I'm going to get some super chats here really quick. And then I have something else I want to talk to you guys about. Let me see. We got Carver yesterday says, don't tell Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Whatever that means, right on, Carver. Appreciate it. I got 10s. I got an 8.5. I got a 9 out of 10. I got another 10. I got a 9. I got a half. Hate gives it an A. I got a -1. Sad. A 10, a 7. I appreciate it. Those are good numbers. That's a nice score. I appreciate it. Kel Samogi with Super Chat says, is it right or wrong to drown your child? Kel Samogi is making a joke here because he disagrees with me when I say that there is no right and wrong. In that we are to just stay present and be in the moment. So he's mocking me when he says, is it right or wrong to drown your child? It's not right or wrong, Kel. But it happened. It happened. Doesn't mean you don't deal with it. Doesn't mean you don't go to trial. Doesn't mean you don't accept the punishment. But there are rules, and there are such thing as indecency. And that's what it is. Indecent. Amen Art says it takes little for children to become overwhelmed. Yes, I believe that to be true. It takes very little for children to become overwhelmed. That's true. So this little girl who had allegedly had ADHD, I'm sure she could have like stepped on an ant hill and just was like overreacting or something. And the mother was like, you know what? I had it up to here with this little girl, and did her little thing. So it's a mess. Interesting stuff. Anyways, in other news, I don't know if you guys caught Punchy TV yesterday. Great episode. If you didn't catch it, you guys got to make sure you go back and check that out. It was very interesting. Callers been calling all the shows today talking about it. A couple people super chatted about it on JLP show. A couple people called JLP show. People called Hake Report about it. And people really liked the episode. We got into the debate whether or not Jesus was a street preacher. And if Jesus went out amongst the world and was just preaching to people, like rebuking people, saying like, you know, gay is an abomination, you shouldn't do, you're a sinner. If you went out and did that because we played a clip of a street preacher who went to a pride parade and was debating against these pride goers. You know, basically saying it's wrong to be gay. Gay is an abomination. And then another gay guy came up and was like, you're judging, you're being judgmental. That's not of love. That's not of God. You need to read your Bible. And I was in agreement with the gay guy, right? Saying that is judgmental, that this street preacher just comes up and just starts calling out the gays. And Derek, the Jesse Lee Pierce producer, was in disagreement with me, saying that I don't see nothing wrong with what the street preacher was saying, right? He was like, you know, that I feel like he's doing his job. He's referring to the scripture and using the scripture against the those who are committing sin. And he said he does nothing wrong, and he says that he sees Jesus would do the same. So we got into that. It was a nice little back and forth. You know, I still believe that I don't think Jesus was a street preacher at all, in my opinion. I don't think that he had any desire to go out and preach to people other than being directed to do it. I think that Jesus was a very private person for the sake of he knew what was going to happen if he tried to be loud about the word. He knew that it was going to bring death to him, and he had a specific mission that he had to accomplish. So he wasn't out just preaching a word for the sake of it, right, with a megaphone. As a matter of fact, as he was on his path preaching to people, he would tell them, don't say anything to others, because he didn't want to draw attention, because he knew what that meant, right? He didn't want to draw attention. So a lot of these street preachers today, they go out and draw attention. That's what they do. They got megaphones, they got microphones, and they're just preaching the word out loud. And it's very off-putting to me. It's very off-putting, very annoying. And it just seems like they're purposely trying to stir up trouble. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't mean well when they're doing it, right? They think that they're doing something right. That can be in there, but also I think that there's an arrogance that's involved in that, right? I think there's an arrogance of like thinking that you have this responsibility to preach to these evil sinners. And to me, that's activism. That's not spreading the word of God. That's not love to me. You just sound and look like an activist. And I don't like that stuff. To me, it's ugly, off-putting. And it made me think about when I used to do similar things to that. I used to preach to people. I was never a street preacher. I would never go out and do it. But like say amongst my friends, right? When they would do things that I would judge and say like, oh, that's bad. Look at them acting up. I felt like it was my duty to say something. And 99% of the time, I honestly didn't want to do it. I was like, man, I do not want to say that. I don't want to speak up about it. I don't want to do it. But I felt like a bad Christian if I didn't do it. So I had this false conviction to now start speaking the word to people. Or else I'm not doing my job as a Christian. I'm being a bad Christian. So I think in some senses, people feel that way. So they go out there and do it. But I think in a lot of senses, people love to stir up trouble. Honestly. People love to stir up trouble in the name of Jesus. And I think partly it has to do with arrogance, ego. It's a big part of it. But part of it also has to do is that that's what gets the clicks. That's what gets the views. That's what gets the likes. And partly, I think it is the thrill of being able to release your own little anger or issues against the world in the name of Jesus. So I just think it's messy, and you'll just be led to spread the word. The thing that I speak on, and I could be wrong about this, live your life, do your own thing, is at the end of the day, just be led in all things. Just focus on yourself. Nobody should be caring about wanting to save the world. Stop trying to save the world. I always say, why you want to save the world? Just do what's in front of you to do. And what's in front of you to do may be just leading your wife, leading your children, right? Being an example in your house. That's what's in front of you to do. And then maybe from there, new things come. Oh, you have a guy who asks you for advice about the situation. You start talking to him. Oh, then there's another guy. It'll just kind of lead into that. And then eventually, one thing will lead to another. But you shouldn't be sitting at home thinking about how you can save the world. I don't know. It doesn't seem normal to me. And it seems ego-driven. And I don't know. It doesn't seem proper. And that's how I believe Jesus lived his life. He was just led by the Father of what to do next. And when you really know the truth, when you really have something true and real, when you really have like specific things God has revealed to you, you don't have a desire to want to like give it away. Honestly. You don't want to have because you just want to keep it. And you want to like, it's like a treasure to you. And when you have this treasure, you don't want to give it away. You don't have a desire to give it away. You kind of want to protect it a little bit, naturally, right? You're not in a rush to tell everybody about your treasure. You're not in a rush to try to let somebody else get the treasure. Like you just kind of just like appreciate it for what it is. So when I hear loud mouths and I hear people just running the mouth or just like yelling and debating and talking all this stuff, it's ego to me, is because real light is not trying to prove anything. You know what I mean? It has no desire to show off, but it also doesn't have a desire to hide either. It's not saying, well, let's not share at all. No, it's just it doesn't have any desire. It just is. Seasal says, then why did Jesus go to different towns preaching? It's a good question, Seasal, because he was led to do it. He saw that's what he needed to do, right? He knew that there was a word that needed to be spread, and he knew that he had to go out and spread it, so he was just led to where to go. But he didn't just pick any church in any town and was like, you know what, I'm gonna go at the top of the roof of every town that I see. I'm gonna go to the biggest mega church in every city, and I'm gonna be on the microphone telling everybody about the word. That was not the Jesus at all. Zero. Because he knew what that meant. That people were gonna kill him, and the people were gonna kill the ones he loved. Because it's the truth. So he always kept it as quiet as he could until he couldn't do it anymore. He had to speak the word. Reese's vid says, Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. Joel be like, nah, Jesus, that's ego. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. At that point, there was a lot of people who were coming to see Jesus and they wanted to see him speak. Earnestly. They earnestly want to see him speak. If Jesus didn't go to anywhere, the Sermon on the Mount was Jesus speaking to those that wanted to hear from him. So you guys be getting all mixed up. Jesus was speaking to those who wanted to hear from him. They were gathered around. Right? They were gathered around. David Morgan with the super chat. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Sends a super sticker coffee mug. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So, hold on. How's the audio? Audio fine? Oh. Hake says, would Joel reject Jesus as too strong? Press 1. Joel would embrace Jesus. Press 2. Joel will reject Jesus. Press 3. I don't know. 4 for chat. As too strong. I don't even really know what that means. I'm getting ones. Ones means Joel would reject Jesus as too strong. I would say Jesus is too strong. But Joel would embrace Jesus. How many 2s did I get? I got 2 2s. Joel would embrace Jesus. The 3 is Joel would reject. Oh, I see. I see what happened. I got it all jacked. My bad. 1 is Joel would embrace Jesus. So some people are saying Joel would embrace Jesus. Okay, I got you. My bad. No. 1 is good, 2 is bad, 3 is I don't know. 1 is embrace. Okay. I'm black. I just read it wrong. Anyway. Really quick, before I end, I have 2 minutes, and then American Anchor Baby's coming in. Let me go to Robert out of Kansas. Robert, I got 2 minutes really quick here. How's it going, Robert?
Hey, Joel, man, I'm trying to help you out, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've never read the Bible, but there is in no way in hell that Jesus was trying to preserve his life for this world.
I never said that. I never said he was trying to preserve his life for the.
You said you said he was laying low and he was trying not to speak the truth because people would kill him. No.
That's exactly what happened. You could look it up in the Bible. He didn't tell. Let me ask you really quick. He didn't tell other people in the Bible, do not tell anybody of what you just seen here.
No, but the way that you talk about it is that Jesus was trying to preserve his life. Which is
no, I didn't. But answer that really quick. Did he tell people? Did he tell people, do not speak of what you seen today?
Man, but the way you
answer it yes or no, though. Answer that yes or no.
I don't know what you're talking. I don't understand the question.
The question is, did Jesus in the Bible tell certain people what you've seen today, these miracles that you've seen today, do not speak of them?
Okay, but he drove the current government up the day.
Wait. Answer that question first, and then I'll get to your.
It's a stupid question. You appear to be a stupid man.
Why do you not answer the question? Why you not answer the question?
I just want to know how dumb you look. Talking about Jesus trying to protect himself from the people of the world is ridiculous.
I never said that. I never said that.
All right, man. Well, hey, dummy, figure it out. Bye.
All right. Well, that was perfect. He gave me 2 minutes. I asked for 2 minutes. He gave me 2 minutes, maybe even less. Yeah, he took it out of context. Maybe it was angry people. They take things out of context. Took it out of context. I did not say that Jesus was trying to prevent himself from dying. Didn't say that. I said that Jesus was in no hurry to make it known that he was speaking the word because he knew what that meant. So. But he couldn't answer the question. I asked him. Couldn't answer the question because he had an agenda. He wasn't trying to get to the truth. He had an agenda. He wanted to prove me wrong, so he couldn't answer an honest question. All right, y'all. I got an American Anger Babies coming in right now. Make sure you guys tune in for his show. It will be on Rumble. So make sure you guys go over to Rumble to check out the American Anchor Baby. Do not miss it. Make sure you guys do that. Go check out their last Punchy episode, Punchy TV. Make sure you guys check that out. Don't miss that either. Very interesting. Derek was our guest on that show. Shout out, Derek. Right on, y'all. Appreciate the super chats, the calls, and everything. Thank you. And I'll see you next time. I was going to say call me again. I'll see you next time, y'all. See you tomorrow if the Lord is willing. And the creek is cool with it. All right, y'all. Bye.